As a first-time home buyer, what are you supposed to look for when you are walking through and inspecting or touring a house? Well, I'll talk about some common things that you must look at. The first place that I always go to is underneath the sinks. So what I like to do is turn on the water so that we got some water running, and then just looking underneath the sink to see if anything is leaking or to see if you spot anything that looks like it could potentially be water damage. If it's a gas stove, I like to check all the burners to make sure that they ignite. I also like to walk around and look at the ceilings as I walk around. Yes, ceilings can be painted, but if there was ever a water leak, you might be able to tell. Ceilings are painted, but usually they're not painted as often as the walls are. Bathroom sinks can get it too. I like to turn the sinks on because when you turn the sink on, you can see whether or not there is a drainage problem, and also you can see if it's leaking underneath. I also like to turn on the showers to check for the water pressure. I also like to flush the toilets to make sure there's no gurgling noises or the water doesn't just continue to run the whole time. I also like to try all the doors and usually the windows just to make sure that things open and close the way that they're supposed to. And there's no issues with the locking mechanism. Nice and secure. You also want to head down to the basement or wherever all of your HVAC and all of your household systems are and check the age of those. Typically, things like hot water heaters have a 10 to 15 year lifespan. HVAC probably that 12 to 15 years as well. So this gives you a heads up on whether or not you're going to have to replace those bad boys as soon as you move in, or if you still have some life left in them. A lot of times they will have either the build date on them, which this says 3/23/2016, or sometimes when they're installed, the plumber will come in and just write right on top of it with a marker and says whatever date the install was. If this information is not written on the units themselves, then that is something that you want to ask the listing agent if they have knowledge or information on when the systems were installed or updated. If, and this doesn't happen with every property, but if you have the opportunity to look up on the roof and take a look at the shingles, what you're looking for is anything that looks like missing shingles or shingles that have been popped up or damaged through weather, wind, all that stuff. If your shingles aren't laying flat like they're supposed to be, then there's potential for water to get underneath and ruin your roof. And a roof is one of those big ticket items that most people do not want to come out of pocket to pay for, especially not when you first move in. In most houses, there's going to be some cosmetic stuff, but that's why you got the whole DIY movement, right? Do it yourself. All these people that buy houses and jump right in themselves and start fixing the things that they can fix. I highly recommend that if it is a system or something major, that you hire a trained and licensed professional. But if it's cabinet doors falling off or you're missing knobs here and stuff like that, quick trip to your hardware store and get that done yourself on a weekend. Another place to check is the electrical panel. So not that I'm an electrician, I'm not, and I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to wiring a house or anything like that, but I want to look to make sure that there are spaces for everything that's supposed to be run by the house that runs through the box here. But then the other thing that you don't want to have is a bunch of like miscellaneous weird wires. Typically electricians take a lot of pride in their work, so they like things to be neat and tidy. If it looks a little off, then I would recommend getting an electrician to come take a look at it. Around the exterior, right against the house, you want to check the grading to make sure that there is not any kind of depressions or divots in the dirt there where water can pool right against the foundation of your house, because water is your house's worst enemy. If there is something in here that I forgot, let me know down in the comments. Go buy you a house, walk around, inspect it like you know what you're doing. And just remember, if something looks off, say something. Say it to the listing agent, say it to your buyer's agent. Let them know. If there's questions, they can ask the listing agent or the seller, and we'll get you some answers.